Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe von In Stereo. Heute bei mir zu Gast die bezaubernde Heather Nova. Hi Heather, very nice to meet you. Very glad to have you on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're currently touring across Europe. This is your final date here in Europe. Afterwards you cross the Atlantic, go to the US. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. Touring, on one hand, is tiring, but on the other hand, it really gives me a lot of energy playing music every night to people and feeling that connection, and that gives me a sense of purpose. Like, you know, that's why I'm here, is to do that. I feel that very strongly, and so I really enjoy being on the road and having the opportunity to do that every night. So yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot.
Before we get to talk more about the current tour, the current album, and you as a pop star, we just have a little insight into your concert.
I wanna be a star. Let me be a star. Past the Milky Way.
This is your current record called The Way It Feels. I'm going to show it to the camera. That's what it looks like. So maybe you can describe the way you work as a songwriter.
Well, you know, there are many phases and stages to making a record. The first one, of course, is writing the songs. And for me, that's quite, I do that alone most of the time. I've done a few collaborations in my life, but most of the time I write the songs myself. And so it starts with an idea. It starts with just a few lines. Often I get ideas when I'm out walking. I walk every day, and a melody will come to me with a few lines of lyric, and then I make time at home to go through all these ideas and turn them into songs. And it can be a long process. Sometimes I work on a song for weeks, you know, or I'm working on a few songs at one time for a few weeks, and then months, and then, you know, so writing for an album usually takes a long time, because I write many more songs than what I record. So for this record, there's 12 songs on there, and I wrote probably 30 songs. So I write a lot, and then I thin it down to the best ones.
What do you do with the rest?
Usually nothing. Usually they sit on my computer.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, it's okay. It's life, you know. It's like, it's quality control. I only want to put out the songs that I feel really encompass something essential and special, and the best ones.
Do you have the final production in your mind when you write a song?
Sometimes, but usually not. No, I just write a song on the piano or on the guitar, and it has a life of its own in that form. So any song, no matter what the production at the end, it can always be taken back to playing simply acoustically. And that's why doing these shows where I just have it stripped down really works. You know, it's just me and one other musician. Actually, on this tour we have a drummer as well. But that's how the songs start. They start as an acoustic version.
I know the lesson coming. Let go. When you love, then you can keep your heart from breaking. Holding on, but I can't keep the tree from shaking.
In one interview, you recently mentioned or described the song "The Archaeologist" as some kind of key track. You don't remember? Okay, but the question is, on the other hand, are there songs nowadays you wouldn't play live because you just can't identify with them anymore?
Yeah, well, there are songs I don't really feel that close to anymore. I always identify with them because they're so much a part of me, and they were maybe a time in my life that I was going through something. But yeah, there are songs I will always feel more connected to than others, I guess. And then also just songs that I enjoy playing more than others. So I think, like, for instance, I will always enjoy playing Winter Blue. I just love the way it feels to play that song. And I probably won't play Virus of the Mind because I don't really enjoy playing it that much. It was like, you know, a song I needed to write at the time, but I don't feel connected to it now.
Ja, liebe Leute, wir kommen jetzt auch zu einer kleinen, feinen Rubrik in dieser Sendung. Das ist diese hier. Which record was the first you ever bought?
Well, it's actually a funny question for me because I grew up where there were no record stores. So seriously, I was living on a boat in the Caribbean, and the records that I listened to were my mom's records that she had taped from LPs onto cassettes. And so she had amazing taste, and I listened to great singer-songwriters from the 60s and 70s. And it wasn't so I didn't really need to buy a record because she had a great collection. And then when I went to school when I was 15, I was in the States, and I started hearing other music like actually David Bowie and the Violent Femmes and what else? I don't know, a lot of stuff. And then so I remember there was this boy who I had a crush on, and he introduced me to Lou Reed. And we went to a record store together, and that was the first time I bought a record, and I bought Lou Reed Berlin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Oh, I know it's hard to see it now, but every little thing will be good again. Stars come out to light your way. You're gonna be the girl on the mountain. Every little thing will be good again. Wind is strong, but don't you sway, 'cause you're gonna be that girl on the mountain top.
It's really hard to make a living as an artist now. That's the truth of it, and that's the reality. And I think people have no idea that that's true, because you don't really sell records anymore. People aren't, kids especially, like young, you know, they think, they just expect music to be there for free on the internet. And there's not an awareness. It's not like they're doing something evil, it's just that they're not aware. And they don't think about it, the consequences for the artist or anything. So that's changed, but what's the positive side is that in a way we're more in control, because we've cut out the middleman in a lot of senses. So, you know, most artists now make a record by crowdfunding directly with their fans, and that's nice to have that direct connection. I think it's a really positive thing.
Well, thanks a lot for being here. I wish you all the best, of course, for the upcoming shows, and all the best in general.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So, und wir hören und sehen uns natürlich in 14 Tagen wieder. Ihr wisst, was zu tun ist. In Stereo einschalten. Bis dahin, macht's gut.